sorry for the shitty lighting. I didn't find my thing I use for lighting, so we're just gonna go with it. But you know how these videos work. I'm just gonna do my eye makeup while talking. So I'm gonna do a peach look, I think. We're gonna just basically see where I go with it. And I'm gonna use the Mad for Matte e.l.f. palette and maybe some of this palette, Icon by Absolute New York. Oh god, I love this palette. Look how pretty it is. I really like matte stuff, so I might just use the e.l.f. I don't know yet. We'll see where it goes. So on this episode of Makeup and Chat, we're going to talk about fake friends, which I have been kind of dealing with a lot lately. And it's been really shitty, but, you know, life goes on. But I'm not just going to talk about the experiences I've had right now. I'm going to go all the way back to, like, 5th grade with, like, my first solid best friend. So, actually it goes back to 4th grade. So, me and this girl had been best friends since 4th grade, and she was like my first solid best friend. Like every other year in school, I had just the girl that wandered around with everybody. Didn't really have a best friend until 4th grade, but so me and her were inseparable till like 6th grade. We faded away in 6th grade, but I'm just gonna give a real like brief summary of each of these stories, and I'll put a link to my Tumblr writing where I go in full detail of these stories completely. So what happened was I had this bully in 6th grade that I just could not get rid of. I had been friends with her for a little bit, but suddenly one day she just turned against me, so then she became my bully. And my best friend was also friends with her, and even though she knew she was bullying me, my best friend decided to stay friends with her and like would hang out with her. And every time she hung out with her, she'd come back to me and tell me all the stories about what she said to me during the sleepover, or what she said about me during the sleepover and all that shit. And so I'd always ask her, like, so what did you do to defend me? And she would just tell me that she was too scared to say anything because she didn't want to make that bully mad. So she would basically never do anything. But, so I just, being naive, I never really took that as like a warning sign that your best friend isn't actually your best friend. But, so I was just like, oh, okay, I guess. I mean, you're her friend. I guess you don't want to upset her. But, so this went on for a while. But then randomly one day I got a text, and it was from a girl that I had met at this camp I go to. And it was from this girl that I'd met there, that I'd met like 5 years ago now. But at the time I just met her like the previous summer. But so I got this text, and she was just asking me how I am, and oh my god, I miss you, we're such good friends at camp, blah 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 blah, all of that. And so I was like, wow, okay, I have a friend that wants to talk to me. So I talked to her. So we talked normally for a couple days. It was fine, perfect, whatever. Caught up. And then things started getting weird, like really weird. She started talking all like sexual and stuff, and telling me all her like secrets and stuff. And I was like, whoa. Being in 6th grade, I had no knowledge of like sexual things, so I thought she was like super cool as she was telling me all of this. So I just kind of went along with everything and acted like I totally knew what she was talking about. But I didn't. Eventually, I started seeing what I said on a Facebook post and from my bully. And I was so like, what? How did this happen? And soon I found out that my best friend was hanging out with that bully and decided it would be a funny prank to give her my number and to text me and act like that girl. And the reason she knew how to pretend to be that girl is because she also knew that girl from camp. So they texted me and tricked me into thinking they were that girl. They just made me look real bad and embarrassed me on Facebook. So yeah, I got real embarrassed with that. So basically, that story was just kind of all over the place, but basically what happened was my best friend gave my bully my number, told her to pretend to be this person that was my friend from camp. We talked some real personal stuff. I went along with what she was saying because I thought it was my friend and I thought I just wanted to be kind of cool, so I went along with it. And they put it all over Facebook and everyone saw what I was saying. And just, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. So then I moved in like 6th grade to a new school and I made a new friend, of course. And I thought me and her were gonna be the bestest of buddies, you know? It was going real well, real great. But then she got mad at me randomly because someone had told her that I didn't like her clothes, apparently. And that just, wow, that really upset her. So what she did was she told my crush I liked him, and then she went and told like every boy in the grade that I liked him. So basically every guy thought I liked him, and all the girls thought I was a slut because apparently I liked everybody. And apparently that makes you a slut if you like everybody. Yeah, so she spread all these lies that I liked like all the boys in the grade and I was such a slut just because someone had said I didn't like her clothes. So through that fight, I made this new friend. And she was like the badass girl of the grade. Like everyone was kind of scared of her and I didn't really know why. But I was like, she's so nice. Yeah, she's my best friend now, blah, blah, blah. And we were good friends for a while. In 7th grade, we started fighting a ton and being just nasty to each other. Super nasty. We fought so much that we eventually got like talked to by a cop. We had to go to the school counselor all the time. It was pretty intense. We weren't allowed to have classes together. So we got in all those fights, and all of that, but that's not the main point of that story. The main point is that for that whole friendship, she had tricked me into thinking that she was secretly best friends with my crush, and she just hid it, I guess, and he was embarrassed to be her friend at school, so that's why they never talked at school, and I'm a dumb 7th grader, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So I believed that she was friends with my crush, and she would tell me that my crush wanted to date me so bad, and she would tell me to text him, so I would text his actual number, and he never replied to me, and that's pretty embarrassing, but yeah, he never would reply to me, and I would constantly make myself look stupid, and I would talk like we're in a relationship, or I would talk like, I know you want to date me, blah, 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 why won't you speak to me? And he wouldn't reply, and I never understood if he wanted to date me, why wouldn't he just talk to me, but, so, it took me a couple years after I moved again away from that school, to figure out that that also was a lie. So basically what she did, she made me believe it so much that she made fake screenshots of talking to her sister, like she got her sister in this, and that really messes me up, but what she did is she like talked like she was talking to my crush, and they talked about how much they loved me and how much she wanted to be with me and stuff like that, and it was her sister talking, it wasn't my crush. And she sent me those screenshots to really get me to believe it, and I did. In the end, this boy started talking about how I was some psycho that just always thought someone was in love with her. And so then that got spread around, and every boy just kind of avoided me because, I was the psycho girl of the grade that just would like you and force you to like her. And yeah, so that was embarrassing. Next story is pretty out there because it was also a best friend I had in 7th grade. While I was fighting with that other friend, I made this friend. And she was pretty cool. She was really funny. We rode the same bus. She was great. But she also kind of pulled the I'm friends with your crush lie, but she never told me that he liked me. She would tell me that he liked her and all this stuff, and they would secretly hang out and date and stuff like that. But we had this fight over a boy. Like, she basically asked out a guy for me that I told her that I didn't like. I don't know why she did it, but yeah, she did that. And she's like, you told me to ask him out for you. I was like, no, I didn't, but okay. So she did that. We got in a fight. We stopped being friends. But then after we stopped being friends, she texted me a few months later. And in the text that she sent me, she told me she was going to therapy for lying. And she said the first step to getting better was to tell the truth about stuff. So this big truth she had to tell me was that she had lice. And that she had had lice for the past like 6 years. And I was like, I like freaked out because this chick had been in my fucking house, in my bed. I've used my brush on her. I freaked out. My mom freaked out. So we got all the treatment for lice shit. Did all the treatment. But then me and my mom sat down. We're like, wait, she said she's had lice for years. Like, do you know how bad your head would be? How bad lice would have? You would have, like, you'd have lice, like, jumping off of your head. So we're like, she'd be hospitalized if she'd had lice for that long. And another thing was, like, why would her parents allow her to go to other people's houses if she had that bad of lice? Like, either you got shitty-ass parents or you're lying. So we eventually figured out that that lice story was a lie. And her goal was just to make us kind of freak out, I guess. I don't really know, because I didn't really talk to her after that, but I don't know exactly why you would lie about that. Like, isn't that embarrassing for yourself? Like, I could have spread such shit about her because of that, but I didn't, so I don't know. Now, this is pretty much the final story, now that this video is super long and I'm almost done with my makeup. I've had this best friend for the past 3 years, and we just recently stopped being friends. And together we had this other friend that we hung out with sometimes. That was cool and all, until they started kind of leaving me out of shit. And that pretty much pissed me off because I was pretty much the friend that introduced them, like thanks guys, leave me out, but they started leaving me out of stuff here and there, so I got super sensitive with that. Then eventually just snapped one time and told them how I felt about that, and then they turned the whole situation around me, like, you're the one that always says no to going, why would we invite you anymore? So I got very fucking pissed at that because I was like, wow, okay, the only reason I ever say no is because, one, I have really fucking strict parents that sometimes won't let me do stuff a lot, and two, if I say no, that means I have another plan going on right then, or I'm not home, or I literally just can't do it. And so I was like, okay, okay. So I got really pissed off, and I called them thick-skulled and dumb cunts, and I don't regret it, but so that happened, and that caused that third friend to make a post about me on Instagram, tagging all of my accounts and basically telling people to say rude shit to me, and it kind of pushed me over the edge, not gonna lie. I couldn't really handle it. I had like a complete breakdown and freaked out for a while. Told my best friend this, that was all involved with this, saw the post. I even said to her that I'm sure you enjoyed the post, and she said yeah, she did. So yeah, great best friend. But so the post happened, I told her I had a breakdown. She knew I was home alone. Like, she was completely aware that for an entire day I was gonna be home alone, and she just was like, yeah, the post was wrong, yeah, it was bad, that was bullying, blah blah blah. And that's all I got from her. And then she didn't text me for the rest of the day, and she hung out with the girl that made the post. It didn't even text me if I was okay, didn't tell me not to hurt myself, nothing like that. Yeah, I was not important to her at that moment. It was not, she didn't care if her best friend lived or died. So I wanted to text her at nighttime, like 10 o'clock, and be like, so did you just not care about me? Or like, did you not think I was serious or what? I just wanted to let her know that that was really shitty. So I guess I should say thank you, because that kind of kept me from doing anything, is just the fact that I was gonna text her. I hope they had a great day going to movies in the mall or whatever the fuck they did. Hope that was super fun and like totally worth a 3-year friendship. Like, sorry, but I am not gonna be best friends with a bitch that fucking decides that it doesn't matter if I live or die. And she's like, where were you when I was feeling low? Bitch, I let you cry on my shoulder. I let you cry on Skype. I skipped a damn day of school for you. Don't even try to say I wasn't there for you, because you know. So yeah, from all those stories, I've just basically learned that it's really kind of hard to trust people these days, because you can have a great relationship with them for a few years and then boom, shit. So yeah, that basically wraps it up for this video. I've just learned that it's really hard to trust people. Even your best friend will go against you at any point. You can't really stop it. All you gotta do is be a bad bitch and go through it and get over it. Cause honey, you're gonna have a lot of friends in your life, and you're gonna have a lot of friends that leave you in your life. And the best way to deal with it is to just focus on the other people in your life. Cause like, for that one best friend, I had just faded away from my other friends for her. And now I'm getting closer to those other friends, and it's been so positive and good and great, and I'm just really happy that they're in my life now, because they're just a lot better group of people. And I've just, yeah, from all my experiences, all I've done is focused on the other people in my life and made new best friends and moved on and focused on all the good things in my life that I have, like my boyfriend. Like, he is the best person in my life right now and has been for the past like 8 months now. So yeah, that's my advice for all you pretty people out there. Just take care of yourself, worry about yourself, watch out for those fakes, move on, hon. You got this. You don't need that shit in your life. You don't need it. You can get through it. You really can. They're not important. They are not the queens. They don't have control over you. No matter what they say, no matter what they spread, nothing. I don't live by people's opinions. Yeah, I don't care what you gotta say. I know who I am. I know what my personality is. I know what I do. I know I will freak out if you do me wrong. And that's all. That wraps up this video. Hope you have a good day, and hope you smile. So yeah, love you, bye.
And she said, I don't think I love you no more. You never seem to call me lately.